Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
You know, it's a good move whenever we're recording like another disclaimer after Meg's disclaimer about the show being sensitive.
Can we get Meg to come in and do this?
Probably not. Probably not. That's how horrified she is by what's coming up. So I'm warning you now, the last of the Reddit Trials by Fire is by far the worst, and I read it, and it goes on for a while, and it's truly awful. So this is us being considerate to you, the listener, if you don't want to listen to it, because it is really bad. Like I do not say this lightly. It is extraordinarily gross. So just fast forward to about
26 minutes. My bad.
You should be free of it.
We're going to truncate silence. So that might shift things a little bit.
Yeah. I'm saying around.
You're accounting for that?
I'm saying around like, because I'm overshooting it a little bit because I want to make sure they don't get any of it.
Okay.
So, because we discussed a little bit of it after I read it.
26 minutes. My bad.
And then you'll be safe.
Ooh, that's a lot of blowfly talk.
Yeah. So there you go. Jacob.
26 minutes.
Chandra, fast forward.
26 minutes.
I don't know. I kind of want Chandra to listen and then tell us if this was worse than Cumbox.
Okay, Jacob, you do it. Chandra, you fucking listen. Chandra, you do not fast
You
forward.
have to. You got do it for us.
You don't wear your headphones and you listen at work. Chandra.
This is not something you want to listen to at work without headphones. I can't take responsibility for that. This will straight up get you probably fired. Like if I were to like go into my office and be like, "Oh, let's pull this up, beep, 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 volume all the way up." All right, sit here like a psychopath for 20 minutes.
Chandra, go meet, if you haven't met already, Rhythm Master Paul Corn's parents. Play this for them in the car. But there you go. That is your warning and the time you should skip to. Again, red alert. And I give you more alerts as we read it in case you want to turn back.
Yeah, there's plenty of warning.
So there you go. Happy listening. Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys, and still 3 years running, one rather young lady. Still, it's amazing. It's amazing her rejuvenative skills.
I drink the blood of beautiful young women.
I think you drink that weird purple and pink serum from Death Becomes Her. That's what I think.
I also drink the blood.
You have to watch that. I will do that episode of your podcast, the Death Becomes Her episode, because it's great.
That's the one that has the cover of the movie where he's got his hand stuck through her stomach holding the candelabra. I remember because I used to see it at the video store when I was a kid. I never got to watch it, but I remember the
Bruce
cover.
Willis's best movie. Not Die Hard. Death Becomes Her. I always still, whenever somebody says like talking about doing opium, I always picture opium as the eternal serum from Death Becomes Her. I don't know why. What was that? Well, guys, one rather young lady. Talk about old games. This week, it's Original Flavor Wednesday. So we are playing backwards through Dorkly's top 25 N64 games. This week, I don't remember what number it is. I haven't even said what number it is in like 4 or 5 weeks. So I don't know.
7, I think.
7. Dorkly's 7th ranked N64 game, Mario Kart 64.
It's with a K, in case anyone's wondering.
Mario Kart.
Kart.
I mean, it was the first of the Kardashians Enterprises. Mario
It's
Kart.
the second.
I would play Kardashian Kart. That's
know.
fine. I would do that.
I know. What? That's crazy.
The boob physics would be fantastic. Hitting some
Maybe.
carts and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I haven't played the mobile game. I don't know how much time they put into polishing it.
I mean, not enough, but I'm just okay. I'll move on. I'll move on.
We've already lost Peter Pan. Though.
I'm your beard. I didn't talk about the mobile game. I just talked about like if they were in a card game.
If they happen to be.
I'm your beard host Tyler, and I have a few things that I want to go over.
Okay.
First of which is the last, because I'm not going to read Colby. I'm not going to read Colby of the 5. So this is the 4th and last Trials by Fire. You sound super excited.
This is a bad one.
This is a bad
No,
one.
this is a really bad one. Hey, I want to mention that Chandra tweeted that she got physically ill listening to the Cumbox story.
Really? Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
was the funny one.
I thought that was like the least offensive one.
Yeah.
She doesn't like moldy spunk. I don't know what's wrong with her. Crazy, right?
She must have had one really bad experience with somebody. Like a really bad experience.
I guess.
But because I would like to record a second disclaimer to include what I'm doing and put a timestamp to where they can fast forward to.
Oh, that's good. Do we have the technology to do that?
Yeah, I believe so.
okay.
I've got my watch out. My watch. That's what I like to call my
Yeah.
phone sometimes.
Right. Yeah,
Call
I
it
got my watch.
I've got my timer out, so I'll know, and then I'll put that in there. But
Okay.
so this is the last. This is your final, and it is gross. Colby is like heartbreaking.
I've never read Colby. Can you like just give is there anything you can do to kind of give a brief synopsis?
Colby is a story that a man posts. It makes it worse because it seems real. This blowfly girl is not real. Nicole's face. I've read this to her before.
Oh yeah, I think we both heard this together.
Yeah.
Because it is gross, but also there's no way this is real. Period. No way
Right.
it's real. So that tempers it. Colby, I think, is real, and it is basically a man at the end of his rope, and his marriage is dissolving. He believes his child is a sociopath because his child continues to sodomize the family dog with various things around the house. And his retelling of the things that happen and his wife's reaction and the police. And it is like
The dog calls the police.
the dog calls the police.
I'm not sure if the story's real.
It's a very Turner Hooch situation.
You gotta help me.
So I've read it and it is it's not, I mean, it's gross in a sense, but it's also just
just sad.
oh man,
Sounds
it's
sad.
hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard to
Feels like a
read.
sad story.
So it's considered one of the Trials by Fire, but I'm not touching it. You can go there and read it if you want. Blowfly Girl, this is above and beyond. It is way grosser than Swamps of Dagobah, than Jolly Rancher, than Cumbox.
Yeah,
it's
pretty bad. We're getting you 80% there.
yeah,
Just read Colby, you're done.
and you're done. But so I'm gonna read this. It's about as long as Swamps of Dagobah, so I'll speed read it.
Okay. What is it called? The Blowfly Girl?
Blowfly Girl.
Blowfly Girl.
And reading it and it's posted as if the girl is posting her experience. Where are you going, Meg?
Yeah, Meg was in here. Where are you going?
Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Bye, Meg.
Bye, you guys.
Have you heard this story?
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to.
No, she doesn't.
I think so.
She could not handle it. So there'll be another intro.
Well, there's one listener we've run off already.
Yep, it's true.
I was gonna say this story is pretty long, isn't it?
When I read back through it, it's not as long as I originally remember it being. So it's about as long as Swamps
Are you
of
gonna
Dagobah.
paraphrase?
I'm gonna read it quickly.
Okay.
You're not gonna
I'm
read
gonna
it.
micro machines
You're
man
not,
it.
you're not gonna read it in voice.
Like a surly dwarf.
No, we did that already. Jessica Rabbit. I feel like we did. This is gonna be a 40-minute ordeal.
Okay, so we've got a disclaimer at the beginning,
Yeah.
and if you're still listening, I'm disclaiming you now. If you're at lunch, listen to it afterward. It is truly
If you're gonna eat
disgusting.
in the next hour,
Yeah.
don't listen.
If you ate in the last hour, you'll get stomach cramps when you listen to this story.
So and
It's
also
not safe to swim.
Jacob also, he didn't tell me which story was too much for him, but he said one of them was. So Jacob, absolutely fast forward. Don't listen.
Which
to
one do you
Jacob.
think was too much for Jacob?
Swamps of Dagobah.
You think Swamps
Well,
of Dagobah?
no. I bet it might have been Jolly Rancher.
I think it was
That
Jolly
was my
Rancher.
first thought too.
Yeah. Because Jacob loves going down on girls. That is his.
Yeah.
That he will tell you that is his expertise. He's amazing at it.
Sounds pretty arrogant.
So Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like his musical taste and his ability to lick poon,
Yeah.
he's arrogant. So like
He's never bragged about it to me.
Nicole.
He's bragged about it
I
to you,
believe
Nicole? How did that come up, BT Dubs? Hey,
Well, she has one, so she has
hey,
a point
Nicole,
of reference.
Where's Josh? Guess what I'm really good at?
Because I think 3 of us were just like shopping in Walmart.
Yeah, that was it.
So
All
yeah,
right.
he's really good at it. I'm sure Galen, call in. Let us know.
Verify. I'm not saying he's not great. I'm sure he is great, but it just seems like a weird thing for Jacob to just be like, "Hey guys, I'm really good at cunnilingus. Just wanted to throw that out there. Oh
acting?
look, they got everything bagels. Huh, need some of these."
So like, yeah. This is your last stop.
Kinda.
No more gas for 50 miles. Like,
Sort of is.
get off here. So, and this is the last of the trials by fire. So far, no one's complained about it. Like,
Well,
Chandra got
she did, yeah.
nauseous, but she didn't say she hated it. She just said she got nauseous. Right?
I'll tell you what. While you read it, I'm gonna find the tweet.
Okay. Okay.
I need something to occupy myself with
So,
while you tell us.
Tony, however, I don't think he's ever loved TADPOG more since I started doing this.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah.
that's good. At least we got that going for us.
So, yep. Here we go.
Nicole,
TADPOG listener.
You want me to turn your headset off?
I think I can still hear him. Turn
I just
the
won't be
headset off,
reverberating in your brain.
Yeah, I might take my earphones off though.
Okay. This is entitled Blowfly Girl. Here's the epilogue. Maggot story. So if that gives you any indication whether or not you want to listen to this, go ahead, fast forward. Maggot story. Here's my maggot story. This is the one I didn't lose anyway. I wrote this about 2 weeks after my first experience with maggots, about 5 years ago. I didn't realize people would ask me to repost so soon. Hope you enjoy it.
The prologue.
Yep. So here it goes.
Okay.
Sunday was warm and sunny. Just how I always fantasized it would be when I finally went through with all of it. I started walking by the dumpster again, thinking about...
Trash.
That says 2 p.m., but it looked like spam. Either way, it would have worked.
Thinking about spam. Can we play a game where you like I fill in the blanks every now and then?
We could do TADPOG plays the match game. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's great. Let's do it.
I think about 2 p.m., and I was really excited and nervous. I felt butterflies in my tummy, just anticipating what I was about to do. The dumpster is in the alley behind a restaurant near my house. It gets emptied on Tuesday, so by Sunday it's pretty stinky and there are flies buzzing around, which means there are things rotting inside there, and that's just perfect for me. A few times in the past, I climbed into that dumpster and masturbated. Nothing too intense.
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy like, crawl into a hot dumpster and rubbing one out.
and slick the dew off the lily.
Nothing
like you do. Look, Nicole, sure you crawled into many a dumpster and masturbated. Can't even voice a reply. Most I'd ever done was take off my pants and hump against the dirty garbage bags. And one time I lay there with my legs spread watching the flies land on me. So anyway, I walked down the alley to the dumpster, and as usual, I made sure no one was around just to be extra careful. You have to go behind a tall wooden fence to even see the dumpster, and the restaurant is closed on Sundays anyway, so I knew I wouldn't be noticed. But there's no way I wanted to be disturbed. I climbed up and over the side and on my hands and knees into a mass of plastic garbage bags and over the miscellaneous rubbish. The bags felt warm from the sun. The smell in there was extremely foul, much worse than usual, and I knew it was because of my rotting meat. I sat and tried to get myself to relax for a few minutes. There was no reason to hurry.
No.
No
one might wander by and see you doing this disgusting act.
When I was ready, I calmly took off my sandals, my jeans, and my panties. Both pairs. I was wearing 2 pairs of tight panties with a bunch of panty liners in the crotch, which kept anything in my vagina from coming out when I move around. Warning again, you can disembark now. Shit's about to get real bad.
Well, anytime you got 2 pairs of panties and a bunch of panty liners.
And panty liners to keep anything from coming out of your vagina.
You're right.
You're asking for trouble at that point.
Yeah.
But I was going all the way this time, so I went ahead and got completely naked. This was a weird feeling, being totally nude inside of a dumpster.
Nah.
It seemed very erotic to me.
It made me think about how I'm going to die one day.
The sun felt warm on my skin, especially my boobs, which pretty much never see the sun. Most erotic thing said in this whole thing.
Yeah, I think this is proof that like that line alone. When I heard the story the first time, I was like, okay, a dude wrote that.
A dude wrote that. Yeah. You're right. I took a pair of rubber kitchen gloves out of my pants pocket and put them on. There was no way I could bring myself to actually touch a maggot with my bare hands. Laying against the back and the side of the dumpster, I fingered my pussy. I was wet already. I knew I would be. The sensation of the rubber glove against my clit felt unusual, and I kind of liked it. I did that for a while, just thinking about what I was about to do, while staring at the smaller garbage bag in the far corner of the dumpster where I'd left it yesterday.
That one's my bitch. You watch me do this small garbage bag.
I felt the butterflies in my tummy. I kept thinking to myself that I can't wimp out, that I had to go through with doing this. I wished for the moment that someone else was in there to force me to do it, but I decided it was somehow much more sick and depraved to do it willingly. As I thought that, yeah, that's me. That's what I want. I deserve this. And I knew it was time to do it.
It's Miller time.
I got back on my hands and knees and crawled to the other side of the dumpster. I sat down next to a garbage bag, gently picked it up, and placed it inside of me. The terrible smell was already stronger. Carefully, I tore open the bag, and there they were. There had to be thousands of maggots, kind of a beige yellow with little black spots on them, all writhing in a large mass. I couldn't see the rotting meat underneath. Dozens more maggots clinging to the inside of the black plastic, and it was coated with a thick, light brown slime. It was much more repulsive than I thought I was going to throw up right there, but I didn't. I took a few minutes to get control of myself, fingering my clit while staring at the maggots, trying to work up the courage to continue.
All right, so this is really the last stop, right?
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right.
Here,
Warning number 3.
This is like a time crisis with like the big warning flashes. Caution.
Yeah, because it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
I think Nicole's eyes are already watering.
From joy, right?
Oh, yeah.
From joy.
Because it's the second time you've heard me do this.
I want to point out that I don't feel like dumpsters are big enough that you would need to crawl back and forth between the sides, right?
Tiny woman.
Tiny woman.
Tiny
Very
woman.
small.
Yeah.
She could be quite petite. I scooped up some of the slime on my gloved finger and brought it to my nose. I knew what it was from the reading I'd done before. I'm glad she researched what she was doing.
Garbage slime.
It was digestive juices from the maggot, full of bacteria, and it smelled horrible. I thought to myself, that's what I'm going to smell like. That's the stench that's going to come out of my vagina. I want that, I thought. Spreading my legs wide, I dragged the slimy finger between my pussy lips. My clit felt like a hard little pebble underneath the slime. I didn't want to come right then, though, but I was still right on the edge of gagging, too. I knew there was no turning back now. So I let my fingers lightly touch the top of the maggot mass. The maggots felt like nothing I experienced before. They seemed to have such energy. Totally different from picking up an earthworm or something, and they felt so alive. I was fascinated and nauseated all at the same time. Sinking my fingers in the mass, I felt the solid meat beneath. Gently breaking it apart, I could see that the meat had turned gray, except for the very center, which was still pink. And the maggots had penetrated it,
medium
not
well.
too deeply. a nice medium well masturbatory maggot mass.
Spoilers.
Next T-shirt, masturbatory maggot mass.
It's a good punk band.
Gently breaking it apart, at the center, and the maggots have not penetrated it too deeply yet. And there was still plenty of food on my filthy little babies. So I broke off a small chunk of the meat that was covered in one side of maggot and held it up for a moment before I fought the urge to vomit. It was finally time, I thought. I leaned forward and holding my pussy lips apart with one hand, I gritted my teeth and pushed the maggot-covered chunk of meat into my vagina. And then, totally without expecting it, I had an orgasm. A quick, sharp one that only made me want more. And more was coming. I broke up another small chunk of meat along with the other part of the maggot mass and pushed it inside of me. This one had more maggots on it, and I stopped for a moment to see if I could feel them inside of me. I was sure I could, but it didn't matter. I wanted them all. I needed to take them all inside of me. With that thought, I sort of went wild. I started pushing bigger and bigger chunks of meat and maggots, even handfuls of just maggots into me over and over. I was practically hyperventilating, but I wasn't thinking about all the noise I must be making. But now I could definitely feel the maggots squirming inside my vagina. Just the idea of it made me come again.
Nicole, are you plugging your ears or are you just rubbing them to make them feel good? Okay. I was like, man, I think we might need to stop. I don't think Nicole can take it again.
You've gotten this far.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
Finally, once I crammed all the rotted meat and all the maggots inside of me, I felt so filthy, so disgusting, and I turned myself into a low, depraved sort of beast. They made me so incredibly hot, together with the constant movement of the maggots inside of me, but it was time to go. Holding my head over my crotch, I slowly put my clothes back on and managed to get dressed again without anything coming out. I put the gloves back into my pocket and climbed out of the dumpster. And right then, I couldn't hold back the revulsion that I did any longer. Holding myself against the side of the dumpster, I threw up. Ever vomited while horny? It's weird. That's a funny sentence to reply.
Well, the story needed comic relief. I feel like
if Tina Fey tweeted that, it would be huge.
Who wrote this?
It might have been. Allegedly. Walking in the alley, I felt like I was in a daze. I kept asking myself how I could have done this to myself. But then I kept asking why I'd waited so long. I had to walk slowly to make sure nothing got squeezed out of my vagina, but also to keep from coming again. I found myself amazed at the whole thing, that I'd stuffed the most intimate part of me with things that were too disgusting to even touch without gloves, and I was totally getting off on it. Once I got home, I locked myself in my bedroom, took off my clothes, except my double panties, got into bed. I closed my eyes and just let myself feel the maggot swarming inside of me. For a while, I tried to watch TV, but I couldn't really pay attention to it. The maggots were too wonderfully distracting. I skipped dinner. Later on, I really had to pee. I just did that by taking down my panties and holding my hand over my crotch, wearing the rubber glove, of course. So I just peed the bed. The next morning, I called off work, being awake most of the night. I mainly stayed naked in bed all day masturbating, barely getting up for anything. I wanted to do nothing but let my nauseating little babies grow inside my pussy.
What's wrong, Tyler?
Pretty early, though, I realized that the smell was getting really horrible. I opened up a window. I also wet a bath towel and stuffed it underneath my bedroom door. I didn't want my parents getting suspicious. A little later, I realized I didn't need the panties to hold the maggots and the meat inside of me. The mask pretty much stayed right in place as long as I laid kind of still. I thought, hey, I guess that means I'm infested, which made me come again. I thought that might be right on the edge of orgasm, and it didn't take much to go over the edge. I noticed the maggots were seeming to be more active if I kept my legs apart and realized they probably needed to breathe. So that's how I stayed for a lot of the time. I did get up to read my email and posted an update on my webpage, but I couldn't seem to...
hey, look, someone checked out my LinkedIn profile. Let's see
I couldn't seem to think clearly enough to write much. Then I had to pee again, but I didn't want to get up, so I peed the bed. It made me come. I just wanted to keep feeling the maggots moving, and they were. And they seemed even stronger, if anything. I was totally in heaven with it. I didn't eat at all, either. I heard my parents come home from work. During the next morning, my mom said hello through the door and wondered why I was staying in my bed like a hermit. I said I was reading a novel all the way through at once, which I actually do sometimes. She left me alone. I hope she didn't smell anything. I surfed the web for a while that night and looked at porn. I came a few more times. I decided I'd like to go and take a shit in my bed right now, right where I was. They made me more turned on, and I was smearing some of the shit over my thighs and my pussy and making me come again. Not real. Not real. I noticed that the maggots started coming out a little bit. Maybe they liked this shit. A couple more times they creep onto my belly. I just flick one down back between my legs. You're not getting away. Not today, motherfucker.
Not you, my delicious squirmy baby.
I was getting tired at that point. It was really time to sleep, and my vagina was throbbing and sore from all the attention. But I was most worried about making sure my maggots could breathe while I was sleeping. Somehow I managed to find the energy to place a chair up at either end of my bed and use the sheets to tie my ankles to it. That would keep my legs apart during the night. I pulled the blankets over myself and dozed, lying in my piss and shit. For the most part, I slept through the night, but I kept waking up, sweating, and my vagina throbbing worse. I knew I was getting a bad infection. What? But I didn't care. I was not thinking of that. I could only feel the maggots crawling all over me.
Zero fucks given.
I guess I decided I liked that, and I played with my clit until I came again. I didn't know I realized that time I wasn't wearing the rubber gloves. I fell back asleep and woke up again with little phrases running through my head. Other girls have babies and give birth to decay and filth. I keep myself thinking of that. Or I'd probably say, I'm ruining my womb and I don't care. I want to be ruined. I know that this must be from the hallucinating and the infection. I was hoping the maggots had given up on the rotting meat and were eating my vagina instead. My fingers were buried inside my vagina and my fingertips pressed against the part of meat. Wherever I pressed up against the maggots would squirm faster, I climaxed again. I could do it over and over and keep coming. Finally, it was Tuesday morning.
Time to take the trash out. We know that from earlier in the story.
Good callback.
Yeah, and the trash man was like, wait a minute.
Where's that bag of maggots? Somebody stole them again for masturbatory reasons. I knew I was really, really sick at this point. I felt weak and dizzy, and I had a fever, and my whole lower belly was sore and throbbing. Despite that, I was still horny. I could run the edge of coming, and then for some reason, all I wanted to do was see my maggots. I pulled the blankets aside, and I really did have maggots crawling all over my body. I was so whacked out, and I loved it. But I also saw that there was a rash spreading over my tummy and my thighs, and I was soaked with sweat. And suddenly I needed to see what it looked like between my legs. I sat up a little and poked a hand mirror down there on the side of my bed and held it tight. My pussy was totally gaped wide open. I'd never seen like that before. It reminded me of a mouth of a sick, gagging expression. My inner lips were swollen and dark purple, almost black. And while the outer lips were cherry red, and I was losing a layer of dead skin like a sunburn, a stream of light brown slime was oozing out from my vagina and down my butt crack onto the shiny mattress. Shitty mattress. Sorry. Very different mattress.
I'm sure it was kind of shiny.
Although I could still feel a large mass of maggots right me inside of me, there were maggots everywhere between my legs, hundreds of them. And when I saw my fingers on my pussy and plunged deep inside my vagina and dragged out a wad of slime and maggots, which I pressed against my clit, I remember the huge orgasm right then, and I must have passed out. I think I was sobbing too. I'm not sure. That's all I remember until I woke up in the hospital. Whew, welcome back.
My parents were finally like, hey, have you seen Susan the last 2 days? No? She hasn't eaten, and also she's jammed a towel under the door. Everything's probably okay, right?
She's just reading a book all the way through.
Our very tiny
2
woman.
days.
Where's our very tiny woman?
She's 4 or 5. So if
Also,
it was harder to read the second time through, especially that last paragraph. But we're back, TADPOG Nation. If you decided to skip, I think that was for the best. If you decided to go through it, I hope you come out on the other side like a grossed out and stronger person.
Ned, do you smell poop?
There's no way you can. Let's not talk about it. They've decided to fast forward it.
No, I'm not talking about it. I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
Do you smell? You don't think our tiny woman pooped the bed, do you?
No. Because I had a few other things too.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because I feel like I understand some of our listeners a little bit more whenever they have.
Speaking of understanding our listeners,
Yeah.
I did pull this up. Chandra said, she tweeted one day ago, I almost just vomited in my car, so thanks for that trial by fire. So she did say thank you.
Okay.
Chanda, I really hope that you skipped that story that Tyler just read.
She followed up almost immediately. It's incredibly rare for me to have any physical relation to gross shit. Congrats on making me gag and hack several times. Also, that seems kind of thankful.
Yeah.
And then she immediately posted after that, yeah, I can take a lot of gross, but that description, that everything, that made me want to vomit vigorously. I think this story is way worse.
Yep. I agree. It is
Way.
worse.
Totally fake. See, the thing
Totally
about
fake,
the cum
yeah.
box could be real.
I think the cum box is totally real.
And that's believable because I can totally believe some guy doing that. Like, it's not like a huge stretch. But for the tiny woman to do the thing she did in the story, that is a really big stretch.
Because, all right, Swamps of Dagobah, I think is true. I think Swamps of Dagobah is true.
I think it's exaggerated.
Yeah, probably a little bit. I don't think Jolly Rancher is true. I think
don't
that's
think
just
Jolly
like a story between frat guys about a gross girl.
Yeah.
Cum box, I think, is 100% true. And this, I think, is absolutely fake. I
Well,
think it's probably written by a guy.
Well, it's like, I feel like the ones with the kind of the ones that are fables that have a moral ending to them, like, don't shoot drugs into your taint. Okay, that's probably maybe a little exaggerated. And the one that's like, I mean, spoilers to what Tyler just said, if you're just joining us, don't put dumpster things in your intimate spots. Also a fable, modern day fable.
It's a very specific moral.
Yeah, it really is. But, it needed
Some
to be
people
said.
need to hear it.
Yeah. But, the other one, the one that's totally true is I came in a box. People seem to enjoy it. Period. There's no moral to that. If there's anything, it's you should probably come in a box too, and 2.75 million people will look at it.
Yeah. It's a good way to get attention. It's come in the box. Just keep it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So earlier, because I was talking about our fans who have heard, they love a game and hear us shit on it and get upset. I feel like I had a moment for a little bit, and then I had to recognize the feeling earlier today when I was listening to My Brother, and Me.
Oh, I'm not current. I'm 2 episodes back. What, they were talking about a game?
They were talking about a book.
Oh, okay.
And they were mentioning, I believe they were talking about the Dark Tower series being made into a show. and they were talking about the series as a whole. And Travis proceeds, no, it was Griffin. Griffin proceeded to shit all over Wizard and Glass, which, Nicole, I'm glad you're here because you've also read the series. I wish Jacob was also here, but
You got me instead. Sorry.
it's okay.
I haven't read it.
I Wizard and Glass is one of my favorite books ever. I love that. I understand part of his complaints about the series, but whenever I heard him bash Wizard and Glass, I had the same feeling our listeners must have when it's like, what? Oh, I've got to tweet him. I've got to say something. I've got to. Then it's like, okay,
Please tell me you did.
It's fine. No.
And we can read that on the air right now.
No, never meet your heroes, Dave.
And that they were two like really bad typos in it because you were so mad.
Yeah. Justin defended it as much as he could because I feel like he didn't want to get Griffin started. So at least like he sort of defended the position. But yeah, I found myself frustrated today because I love that book so much.
I'm sorry.
So I'm sorry, listener, we didn't like one of your games. It's totally,
I'm not. I'm not at all.
And the other thing I was going to talk about is my dad cut off part of his fingers yesterday.
Fingers.
Yep. I have a lawnmower that constantly breaks down, and he's very into repairing, fixing
He's
things.
very into just jamming his hand into lawnmowers.
Well, he was mowing the other day because if I wait long enough and don't mow, he will get frustrated and come over and mow for me. So that's generally what I do now, just wait.
Perfect setup.
So he started mowing, and the deck blades of my lawnmower set really low. So he ran over something, and it bent one of the blades. So he packed it up, went over to his house, and straightened the blade, and was trying to raise the deck and tighten one of the belts. Tightened the belt too tight, and then the deck itself was tilted over a little bit. So he said he wasn't thinking, and he just reached down just with his fingertips to reach down and pick up the deck. When he did, that tight belt shifted and made the blade spin. So when he did, it cut off the top of his finger from the top of his fingernail up, and then a little bit of his third finger, just whoosh. And he like got it down, put it back, and then like went over and like
Put his
told
finger
my
back
mom,
on,
like,
is what you're saying.
you think I should go to the emergency room? So they called my sister-in-law, who was a nurse, and came over, and she's like, yeah, you should probably go to the emergency room. So like 8 stitches later, his fingers are back on his hand.
That's good.
And he's very angry because it turns out he was there in 2 more days. It would have been exactly 1 year since he was there for losing part of his finger the year before.
Your dad is, for anyone listening, Tyler's dad is Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, that's 30 minutes of my time. So
Cool.
what about you guys?
Hey, hi, what's up, internet? Hey, how's it going? I got some things to talk about too. I got a thing on the internet that I want to read to you. I prepared a thing on the internet. Here's my thing.
Blowfly Girl Part 2.
This is from Iliop.com.
Yeah.
Iliop is, Nicole, do you know what an Iliop is? First of all.
I don't think so.
An Iliop is what Teddy Ruxpin is. You might have thought he was a bear. I also thought he was a bear.
He was a bear.
Not a bear. He's a young Iliop, roughly 15, whose father disappeared when he was a child. He comes to Grundo. That's where he lives, or now, to follow a treasure map. Like other Iliops, there's more, there's plenty of them. He is kind and friendly. He loves adventure, meeting new faces, and having new experiences. Any questions?
So that's not like what Teddy Ripskin's backstory.
That is what he is. That's the kind of creature he is. He's an
Okay.
Iliop. Yeah, and a little bit of his story. Yeah, he found a treasure map. Now, so I went on a little adventure because that's from Wikipedia, and I was like, well, there's got to be a fan site. There has to be a fan site for Iliops. I was really hoping I would find some NSFW stuff. I tried really, really hard.
We just had a fucked up last few days in general.
I marred my Google account. I'm gonna get the weirdest Gmail advertisements for like the next 2 months. But I did find Iliop.com, which Really has a lot of posts on Target catalog and the updates on when the DVDs, the Teddy Ruxpin DVDs, have been marked down.
It's a show?
It was a show. There was a Teddy Ruxpin show. So I couldn't find any NSFW stuff. So
So you wrote some, right?
I wrote some, and I emailed it to Chandra. She'll be calling in and reading it, and everyone's gonna love it. So I couldn't find the NSFW stuff. So what I did, I was like, what's the next best thing? I was like, I wonder if there's anyone out there who made a homebrew Iliop race for D&D. Yep, someone did that. Someone did that.
Yes, community of which I'm a part of.
Somebody did that, and you can find it in the forum at iliop.com. So iliop.com, that's your fourth name drop. So you're welcome for the traffic you're going to get. The last update on their site was from 2006. So we'll see.
How do you even spell that?
It is a great question because everyone listening doesn't know that. Yeah, it's Iliop, ILLIOP. I like to call them the straightest Illin race of cute little teddy bears.
So all Iliop game next time?
All Iliop game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've only got the rules for 4th edition, which is an edition that we don't play.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll try it. If I can play an Iliop, I'll try it. Okay, this is what an Iliop gets. They get low light vision.
Okay, makes sense.
They have a speed of 6. It's a 4th edition thing. I guess it's 30 feet, 6 squares.
They shouldn't, but okay.
I know, right? We don't get a size. So 30 feet, I'm assuming this is a medium. This is a medium teddy bear.
That's a huge Teddy Ruxpin.
That's a big old Ruxpin. Much larger than the tiny woman who climbs in the dumpsters. All right, these are the following stat bonuses that an Iliop gets. A +2 to wisdom and a +2 to constitution. Surprised there's not a charisma bump there.
Yeah.
I thought there would be. They like to see new faces, or they're by nature, their very nature, they're extroverted. Skills, they get a +2 to perception, a +2 to insight. Once again, not to critique you, Legendborn, who posted this on July 29th of 2008, no perform. Teddy
You're
Rex,
right.
I've assumed Iliops love to sing.
Their favorite class better be Bard.
They gain a +2 fortitude defense against enchantments and mind affecting abilities.
Okay.
They have, I'm not familiar with this because this must be a 4th edition thing, but they have the purity of spirit encounter power.
Okay.
They have a range of 5. This is the purity of spirit. It has a range of 5. So 25 feet. It's an immediate interrupt. And enemy targets, you are an ally with a power that deals necrotic damage, is the trigger. You are an ally ignores 5 points of that necrotic damage. If the target of this power is taking ongoing necrotic damage, Purity of Spirit ends it immediately.
Okay.
So Teddy Ruxpin be pretty good match against Blowfly Girl, I think. Lots of necrotic
If
damage.
only she had a Teddy Ruxpin in her room.
Hello, friend. He probably could have talked her off of that ledge, I think. He, of course, says favorite class, cleric, paladin, or warlord.
No.
It's Bard. Come on.
No.
It's Bard. We all know
It's
that.
Bard.
But of course, this is just a template and will change later if necessary. Let me know what you think. See if you can come up with another race. Not a single response. Just that one just was thrown out into the ether and just vanished until we dug it up 7 years later.
Yep. So now we'll have to log on, make an account, and reply to it.
I think that we don't ask our listeners much. We only ask them to retweet us, like us on Facebook, call us, and give us money on Patreon.
Leave us 5-star reviews.
Leave us 5-star reviews.
us.
Yeah, mail us things. But guys, seriously, I'm gonna post a link to this post on iliop.com. you gotta respond to this person. You gotta respond to this person.
They're probably like married and have kids now.
Yeah, probably. Also, I have an update. We got an email from Massacre of recommended that we play Global Gladiators Fame. I'm going to read. He answered a couple questions for us. The subject is thanks in all capital letters, 2 exclamation points, a colon, and a capital D, which the kids tell me is a big smile. He says, thanks for the episode, guys. Well worth the shipping price. You guys played it like I did when I got it on a Christmas morning.
Oh.
Followed by a lols. If you guys think the title music is 90s-ish, you should check out the bonus stage music, which I didn't hear.
Oh.
So now I'm going to have to look that up. And then the perfect way to end it, my apologies for the torture. Massacre. So that made me feel good that this wasn't actually a game that he expected us to enjoy. This isn't like Griffin shitting on the Dark Tower.
He just wanted to continue the straight story, which I can get. But I needed to know. I needed to know more about Roland.
No, if that was his reason for not liking it, that's a shitty reason
'cause
to not like it.
He felt like it was too much of a diversion, just going so hard and having a hard stop to tell what is the longest book's story, which I thought was necessary. I loved Wizard of Glass. I love Roland's backstory. It fleshes out all the decisions that he makes and is the person that he is, and that defines the ending of the book. Wizard of Glass is necessary, and I loved it. But I think there's a sheer reason not to like it. I agree. But I can also sort of like, okay, I guess if you're really that invested in just the main storyline, but okay.
Side note, has nothing to do with what you just said. I apologize, but I just thought of it. Why would an Iliop have a bonus to mind affecting effects? You can just put a cassette tape in his fucking back and he'll just say whatever you want. Just whatever. I don't get
and
it.
you think, well, would he have a bonus to wisdom and bonus to all these resistances?
No.
And yeah.
Wrong.
And a bonus to insight. Like Teddy Ruxpin can't tell what you're doing.
No.
You tell Teddy Ruxpin what to do.
Exactly. All right, sorry. I just thought of it and had to say it.
No, that's fair. Nicole, welcome to the show.
Welcome to 40 minutes into the Mario Kart 64 episode, Nicole.
Hi.
Do you have any stories? Any comments?
Well, I do. Since you brought up Teddy Ruxpin,
Yeah.
and he's a bear.
Well, he's an Iliop, Nicole.
Well,
you weren't paying attention.
Not since I brought up masturbating in dumpsters. You don't have a comment.
Since I thought he was a bear.
I did too. I was corrected last episode.
The other day, Josh and I were sitting on the couch, and for like the first time ever, I told him about something I had read on the internet that he had not previously read. So I was going to see if you guys had heard about this.
All right, I'm intrigued.
The Berenstein Bears alternate dimension theory.
What? Nope. I need to hear it right now, though.
You're going to have to look it up. Because this is the one thing that just like freaks me out the most of anything I've ever read online.
Was this on No Sleep or something?
No, this is a like legitimate real thing.
So you want me to look it up?
Look it up.
Okay.
So you look up, and how do you guys think that you spell Berenstein Bears?
I can tell you exactly how I just tried to spell it. I tried to spell it. It's wrong. I guarantee you. I tried to spell it Berenstein.
That's what I would have thought.
Right. Everybody thinks that it's an E, but it's not. It's an A.
It's an A.
It looks like Berenstain.
Berenstain Bears.
And even if you go like your mom has all your shit in her attic, if you go and you're like, no, it's an E. I remember it being an E when I was a little kid. And you go and pull up your book and it's an A. It's always been an A. And there's this theory, going around that's like the shared false memories mean that those people came from an alternate reality.
The AV Club has this post where the headline is, how you spell the Berenstain Bears could be proof of parallel universes. The Berenstain Bears, it's the singularity.
They cover, I wish they would have used this as an example, but in Virtue's Last Reward, they talk about this theory a lot. About
the Berenstain Bears?
About false shared memories
okay.
and unknowing human telepathy and givers and receivers and things like that of memories and information. So I wish the Berenstain Bears was the thing that they talked about.
But it's just like once you see it and it looks wrong. It looks so wrong.
Yeah, they have a side by side, and it does look correct with the E
Yeah.
that they've doctored.
Man.
And that, like, out of all the things I've ever read online, that's the thing that freaks me out the most because I'm like, no, it was an E. It was definitely an E.
Our lives are a lie.
Anyway, I
pretty
thought I'd
good.
share that.
That's
It'd be a
pretty
good link for
Thank
the show
you.
notes,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. I'll get it in there right now.
So these are some pretty hot show notes, you guys. I hope to see at least 12 hits.
Which you can find at tadpog.com. I don't know why, but we got a lot of views on last episode's post. I don't know what we would have linked in there that got so much attention, but
Okay.
whatever. I'm just going to use last episode show notes for this episode, I think. We'll be okay.
Dave, you hear that?
Man, I thought that train gave up. I thought that train, like,
It's really late, but it's still coming.
oh man. It's still coming, like the tiny lady in the dumpster.
Uh-huh. Just like that.
I do hear that. I do hear. Is that Kerrigan? Is that Queen of the Zerg?
Uh-huh. Yep. Man,
that train.
That is her backstory. Man.
Which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Berenstain Bears. Dave, read some Wikipedia. I feel like maybe I should read from Mario Wiki instead, because that's what I have open right now. Okay, guys. Mario Kart 64, or as it's known in Japan, 64 Mario Keto Rokujuyon, is a 1996 go-kart racing game developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo 64 video game console. It is the successor to Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System and is the second Mario Kart game. It was released first in Japan in 1996, and then it came out in North America and Europe in 1997. It came out on the Virtual Console for the Wii in 2007. Do you want me to go into the next paragraph is the changes that they made from the Super Nintendo to the N64? Do you want me to get into that? Or
We since we have done both these games, I think you should.
Okay. So changes from the original include the move to polygon-based 3D computer graphics for track design. So all the tracks are rendered in 3D. And the inclusion of 4-player support, which seems like that's a regular thing for the N64. That's like one of the best things about the N64, I think, is 4 players. Players take control of characters from the Mario universe who race around a variety of tracks with items that can either harm opponents or aid the user. The move to 3-dimensional graphics allowed for track features not possible with the original game's Mode 7 graphics, such as changes in elevation. I almost said evolution, because
Monkeys.
monkeys. Donkey Kong's in it. Bridges, walls, and pits. However, the characters and items remain 2D pre-rendered sprites. The game was critically well received and was a bestseller, although the game's use of billboard sprites was criticized by some. And that's it. That's Wikipedia.
Nicole, you were very excited for this episode
Yes.
because you haven't been on the last few. So this one you wanted to make sure you came in for.
Yes.
Tell me why you love this game so much.
I will tell you that I do love this game. In playing these 64 games, this has been the first one that I'm like, I really loved it, but now I think it's just okay.
Really?
All right.
So when you replayed it,
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's good, but I feel like I still love it, but I think it's nostalgia.
So you played all of its predecessors. So going back, because you love Mario Kart on the Wii, right? I've seen you play that a lot.
Yeah.
Drunk.
I don't drink and drive.
there's actually a photograph on Facebook of you and I playing that.
Oh, yeah. there
We're
is.
both pretty drunk.
Because I haven't played this game. I'd played it before a very long time ago. And then you brought it over and we played it. I watched you play it while I finished my dinner. And then I bumped it and it froze and you got upset.
I was on the last race.
I didn't say it wasn't justified. And then we played, we raced against each other, and I got 8th place most of the time, and you got anywhere from 1st to 4th.
All right.
I'm very bad at this, as I am pretty much all racing games. I started doing really well. I was in first place on our last race in the Ice World for a long time, and then like I made one mistake, and then I finished 8th.
It's funny because I was 8th when we started out, and I finished first.
So I can't maintain that perfection needed to get first place in a racing game ever. I always fuck it up. I'll have it, and I'll like get excited and be like, all right, I just have to maintain. Nope. All right. Nope. Fucked up. Last place. All right. Game over. Yeah. All right.
I had never played this game before. I felt like I had because I had played a lot of the versions that came after it. And the Wii version includes a bunch of the tracks from this game. And I think the retro courses. And then I think I've got the 3DS version, which I think also has it has a few tracks from the N64 version. There's only 16 tracks. So even with there being like 4 of them in games that came out after Mario Kart 64, it's like, well, I've already played a quarter of these courses. So it kind of felt like I'd played it already.
I didn't hate playing it. I really think of all like the racing games, like I find these the most tolerable. You know, I could sit down and I'm not going to bitch about playing it. If anybody wanted to play it, I would play it again. It's not like I'm trying to watch some other shit. What's the one? What's our early TADPOG? Top Gear 2. I'm not going to play Top Gear 2 again.
What?
So, you know.
What?
But that draws me to what I think is one of the most important things that we talk about on this podcast in regards of Mario 64. And that is, now that we've played Mario 64, to draw a comparison about which wins, Mario Kart 64 or Diddy Kong Racing.
Glad you said that, Tyler. I've got notes prepared on that very subject.
So please, I have ideas, but since you put them to digital paper, please go first.
Okay. Comparison to Diddy Kong Racing. I just want to issue some completely objective facts. There are 16 courses in Mario Kart 64. There are 20 courses in Diddy Kong Racing. 25 if you include the boss courses. So those are facts. There are 8 racers in Mario Kart. There are 8 regular racers in Diddy Kong Racing and 2 hidden racers that you unlock.
In the moon landing, the flag wavered in the wind.
Guys, we all know that Diddy Kong Racing was faked, right? That's a thing that Rare did.
No one really played that game.
Okay. In Diddy Kong Racing, there's 3 kinds of vehicles. There's karts, there's airplanes, and there's hovercrafts. And Mario Kart, there's 1. There's karts. Diddy Kong Racing has 3D rendered racers. Mario Kart 64 has 2D sprites. Mario Kart 64 has a battle mode, which Diddy Kong Racing does not have. And Mario Kart has established characters. Every character in Mario Kart existed before Mario Kart 64. That is not the case with Diddy Kong Racing. Only a handful of those characters existed, and they were hoping that the rest of the characters would get their own games eventually. Those are facts. And
important facts.
I've got a thing I want to say, and that is I think Diddy Kong Racing is a better game than Mario Kart 64.
I was hoping you were just going to, like, out of the pants, something like incredibly racist.
No, I'm not.
I know, I wanted to say something too, but I'm like, oh, okay, well, nice.
And then I was like, even trying to think of like something tertiary I could say, like, Donald Trump's got some pretty good ideas. And I couldn't even bring myself to do that, even though I just did.
You did a mocking voice.
I don't mean those things.
Anything you say in this voice, you're pretty much not serious.
I mean, Frank Reynolds is he's spot on. I think Diddy Kong Racing is a better game. Like, from just looking at it and being like, oh yeah, like they really did some things in that game. They did some important things that probably should have changed the kart racing genre. And then I look at Mario Kart and I'm like, I don't think this game is as good, but it's definitely what I want to play. So my answer is I think Diddy Kong Racing is a better game, but I would rather play Mario Kart 64.
Okay. Here is my my analogy.
Okay.
So like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is like a new Toyota, and this model of Toyota is the best handling car on the market. It is the
Oh,
best,
the Tercel.
the Tercel, the Toyota Tercel. It is the best. Like, it feels the best to drive. It handles the best. It gets fantastic gas mileage, and there's battle mode for Mario Kart 64. So this car has like the coldest air conditioner you can get. It handles very well. You know, good gas mileage. Cold air conditioner.
Right. So why is battle mode an air conditioner then?
I was
Because I think it's an essential and
'Cause it's
important
so
part of the
cool.
experience. Yep. It's like you don't want to drive around a car with no air conditioner. Just like I think the battle mode is a huge selling point for Mario 64. That's why I think like Mario Kart 8 was not as popularly reviewed because their battle mode is garbage as compared to all the other Mario Karts, which when I played the Super Nintendo version, I didn't give a shit about the racing. I only wanted to do the battle mode. I thought the battle mode was a blast. So, and air conditioning is also severely important to me.
Right.
My other car that air conditioning is not working is just sitting in my driveway. I'm not even touching that fucker right now. Fucking no air conditioning. But Diddy Kong Racing, it doesn't handle as well. Still handles pretty well. The air conditioner isn't like super cold, but you know, it's got an air conditioner.
Is it a Toyota?
No.
No, okay.
No.
What
It's not an American-made car, but it's not a Toyota. It's like
Like
it's
a
like
Volkswagen
it's like an
or
Isuzu.
something? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an Isuzu.
All right.
But it has automatic doors, automatic locks, a sunroof, a GPS. It has all the bells and whistles. So then you have to think like, do you want the car that doesn't drive as well, get quite as much gas mileage, but has all those accessories that you want? It's a CD player. It's got a system in it.
Did you get the undercarriage protection?
Yeah, absolutely. And 15 years ago, it would have been lowered and had lights underneath it. Yeah. And then you've got like a car that like handles really well. It's got a cold air conditioner.
Toyota Tercel.
Yep, Toyota Tercel. So that's how I look at it because
Okay.
like the kart racing in Mario Kart 64, I think is better than the kart racing in Diddy Kong Racing.
It's more fun for me.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's hard to separate, like, why. And I do think there are some techniques in Mario Kart 64 that don't exist in Diddy Kong Racing that I really appreciate. And it, like, even builds on Super Mario Kart for the SNES. Like, I love that there's a way that you can, if you hit a banana peel, there's a technique that you can use to not spin out. I think that's amazing that they included like that little detail into the game, and power sliding, which you could drift in Super Mario Kart, but now it's a thing that if you do it well, not only will it help you win the race, it'll actually give you a mechanical bonus too, because if you power slide long enough, that smoke that comes out from the back of your cart changes color. And once it's like red, you let go of the drift button and you get a boost. So there's like these little cool things where it's like once you kind of get the basics of it, you can start learning these other things on top of it that I know that Diddy Kong Racing had these things in it, but I felt like it wasn't as deep.
That's fair. I mean, I guess I agree with you because, like, yeah, I would rather sit down and play Mario Kart, but there's something to say, like, if you have friends over, play Mario Kart. If you're by yourself, Diddy Kong Racing might be a better option.
Yeah, I mean, it's because that's what Diddy Kong Racing. It's got like a story mode, and it's a rare game, so you have to unlock all the courses. That's another thing that is totally different about the games. Like Mario Kart, you're just like, turn it on. Okay, I can do all of the courses right from the beginning. I can do the standard Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup, Special Cup. If I don't want to do the cups, I can just do time trials. And like right from the
If you
beginning.
want to have an aneurysm, play Rainbow Road, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nicole, how did you play Mario Kart 64? Did you by yourself and you constantly trying to up your times or
the majority of the time I played the game was in battle mode with one of my friends because that was the
Okay.
only video game she'd play with me. She didn't really like video games, so.
Is battle mode your go-to? I know Tyler said it's really important to him. Is battle mode important to you?
I think that is important to me. I think that once you go through the courses, then for me, there's really no incentive to try and like better my time. You know, once I've kind of gone through them and experienced them, I don't really have the desire to go back and do them again.
Really?
So really the battle mode for me is what the draw is.
I like the racing a lot, and I do go back for that. And I didn't, unfortunately, get a chance to try the battle mode on the for Mario Kart 64. I know it's really, really fun in Super Mario Kart. You guys got to do battle mode, right? Mm-hmm. Is it similar to the SNES battle mode? Like you have 3 balloons that are around you, and you're trying to pop your opponent's balloons? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Do they add anything different to it, or is it pretty much just the same, just with updated graphics?
Like, I don't know if I just wonder, because I don't remember Super Mario Kart well enough to know if they had all the same weapons. Because did they have
the same like items?
Was the Boo an item in Super Mario Kart? I don't recall.
Yeah, the Boo is an item only in battle mode on the Super Nintendo. They added it to the regular racing in Mario Kart 64.
I enjoyed all of it because Nicole and I played. We pretty much did every level. The only one that I hated, that I thought wasn't done well, and I don't ever want to do it again, is the donut battle arena. I think that's awful.
I like it
because like I could never see you coming around.
That's why you got to use the little map,
even
little
then,
inset map.
Like I'm still like trying to like there she is. Where did she go? I don't know what's going on. Okay, now in the middle of the donuts. Okay, now I'm dead. What's going on? The rest of it was like you could still play it like you could do the run and gun, or you could almost do it like a first person shooter, because at one level I remember I just stood up and camped with a red shell until you got in range on a different level and just pop dead.
That is my favorite battle course. Was the one that has the 4 different, like, there's 4 tiers and they all connect by little bridges. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite. Bridges
in this game are tough because there's a course. I can't remember what it's called, but you will probably know the one I'm talking about, where it's like the most chaotic course, and I think it's in the Wii version of Super Mario Kart. It's got a giant Yoshi egg in it, and it rolls back and forth, and it's right in front of the finish line, and it will crush you. And there's no like really predefined course. It's kind of like, well, here's the start, here's the finish, here's a bunch of passages. And it's like you can take whatever one you want, I guess, but you just have to get to the finish line.
Well, that's how Nicole and I were playing, and then like all of a sudden I find myself, my screen doesn't look anything like her screen. Where am I going? What am I doing? And I just happen to like, oh, I took a side road. Now I'm in front of Peach's castle from Mario 64. Yeah. It's like, is this like a shortcut? Did I find something?
Nope.
No, it's just there to fuck you up.
Yeah.
So then that's like, she's done with the race for like 5 minutes, and I'm still like trying to figure out where to go. So, who's everybody's racer of choice?
I think we should guess.
Okay. So you want me to guess the 2 of yours, and then you'll guess our 2.
You
and
know
then
mine,
Nicole.
so you can't
yeah.
You can't guess.
Okay, so then
you can guess mine.
Tyler's has got to be Peach. Incorrect. You really? Mm-hmm. Your go-to is usually Peach. Mm-hmm. Nicole, this is tough. This is really tough. Now I'm like playing mind games. I'm like, okay, Tyler didn't pick Peach. Why not? Was it because Nicole had Peach? That might be the case. But I'm gonna go Luigi.
Yes.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
I know Nicole better than you, Tyler. Who did you pick?
Bowser.
Why?
Because I don't want to get fucked with on the track. People bumping into me. I don't want to spin out. I want the control and the stability.
But you're so slow. Mm-hmm. You're so slow.
I did okay.
You got 8th, Tyler. You said on...
If I quit hitting stuff, whenever I wasn't hitting stuff, I was in first.
Whenever I beat you on that ice level, I was Wario, so...
I'm so glad you said that, because when I was playing this, here's another big thing. Donkey Kong Jr., he's out. They're like, you know what? Nintendo pointed their finger at Donkey Kong Jr. and was like, no one's going to remember you anymore. You're dead to us. And they replaced him with Wario. Wario's in this game. But Wario makes me think, does anyone really like Wario?
I love Wario.
You do?
Yes.
Like you're a Wario fan,
Yes.
like not just in kart racing, but just Okay. That answers that question. Because Wario is just one of those characters to me where it's like, well, I mean, I guess you need a break from Bowser every now and then. And
I sort of feel like Wario should be an unlockable character who can do something a little different. I feel like Wario should be able to cheat.
in this game.
In this game. I feel like
be
you
cool.
should be able to, like, if you're Wario, the selection screen to pick what your weapon is should, like, go slower. Or you can move it one up or one down to pick which one it is. He should be able to cheat a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. So I love that, like, almost like I like the idea of each kart racer kind of having their own, like, special ability.
Yeah.
Like they have a class ability.
But instead, they're divvied out by, weight class. And because one thing Nicole and I did in battle mode was she charged right at me. And we just bump, and then she loses a balloon because Bowser's heavy and big.
Yeah.
So it reminded me of the one day I played football. I don't know if I told this story or not.
I don't think so.
I went to one practice to play football one time where my mom said I had to quit. And the whole time we would line up defensively. It was like they split the team in half so we could scrimmage against each other. And me and the guy across from the other team on the defensive line, all we did was run into each other over and over again to see if we could knock each other over. Like running backs are going.
That's like what football is.
Yeah, that's what
right?
you're supposed
No, we
to do,
didn't
right?
push. We would run, hit, back up, run, hit, back up.
Like your two little rams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we did every play, the entire practice.
Yeah.
Until
I love your arm motions.
Yeah.
choo choo, bam, and until we were practice was almost done, and the coach comes over and grabs both of us. Says, "I'm tired of this hitty pitty bullshit you kids keep doing." Never went back.
Hitty pitty.
Hitty pitty bullshit.
I know that like reached down and touched your soul because you remember exactly what he said to you.
Yep.
Because like there's no way you made up hitty pitty.
It was like something out of like a high school football movie. I'm tired of this hitty pitty bullshit you kids are doing. Fucking you come on this North Marshall Middle School field, you're gonna play some football like 11-year-olds.
You do need to respect the field. That is true.
This field in which no kicker has ever made a goal for any team in the entire history of middle school existence.
Guess who my racer was?
Toad.
It's Toad. I didn't let
Sorry.
Nicole guess. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Toad or Yoshi. So
Not a Yoshi guy. I'm not a Yoshi guy. I'm actually kind of like, I'm like almost anti-Yoshi because he's just
that guy.
right. He's just always like so like I'm winning. No, it doesn't even matter to me. I'm like not even trying. That's how Yoshi is. Toad is the hardworking, blue collar, just like he's gonna get in there. He's got to win. He has to win this race so he can feed his family. This is like he's got everything riding on this race. That's
He's
how I
just
feel
a
Toad.
butler.
He's just a butler. That's it. But Toad's also got this weird thing where it's like Toad and Yoshi have something really, really in common, and that is they're both a character and a race. So I feel like both of these characters have a lot riding on them because it's like Yoshi. There is Yoshi, but there's also the Yoshis. They live on Yoshi Island. There's Toad, and there's also the Toads, and they live in Toad Village. So it's like Mario Kart is like the Olympics for them because it's like these are the representatives they've chosen to race. There's not the Marios. It's just Mario. He doesn't give a shit.
It's the Italians.
Yeah.
It's Mario.
Well, that's not fair because then they got Mario, Luigi, and Waluigi? Is he Sicilian or something?
He's got, Wario and Luigi, head canon are Sicilian. Mario and Luigi are Italian. That's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure that's racist.
You're welcome, Ryan. I hadn't said pretty good yet, so there you go. Oh, man.
did you say that people didn't like the billboards in the game?
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
The billboards, right?
Yeah, the billboards. They said the billboard sprites, and it's like
There are billboards as you're going through the
how
they're
much can you
billboards
climb up a
on the
sign?
tracks. Well, okay. It's tough, right? Because I think it's cool that they're in there, but they are pretty fucking dumb. Like there's one that just says Yoshi's. And like I don't have a response to that other than a giant shrug. It's just a billboard that says Yoshi's. Yoshi's what? Yoshi's Restaurant?
Yeah,
Yoshi's.
no, maybe it is.
maybe they're a
it's
gang.
like in that universe, Yoshi's is a very well-known fine dining establishment.
I want to know what the billboards were in Japan because I have a feeling they were actually designed and it was like Yoshi's Restaurant and Yoshi's like holding a silver platter or something. And then in the North American translation, they were like, fuck, we got to get this out. Yoshi's.
What does that say? Hell, I don't know. Put Yoshi's up.
I'm tired of this hitty pitty Yoshi bullshit.
I still remember who that guy is too. Like
Really?
I've never had any interaction with the guy ever since. But I
Let's
remember
get
his
him on the
name.
show. So Nicole, what did you think of the billboards?
I like the billboards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a nice touch. I just wish they would have done like a better job with them. Because I think one of them just, like my favorite one, I think is the one that just, it's an image of a red shell and it says red shell. That's my favorite one. Like I want a t-shirt.
Maybe
that is
someone
like
who's
just that.
colorblind appreciates that.
Red shell. Okay.
Is that a green shell? No, that's a red
Oh
shell.
man, this must be a nightmare to play if you're colorblind.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that until you just said that.
I don't know how her father got along or still continues to get along. A friend of mine whose father is like a master electrician, been in the business for 40 years, is colorblind.
Those wires have colors,
Those
right?
wires have colors. And I remember one time a long time ago, she was having to fix something with him. And she's like, okay, which wire do I cut? And he looked, she's like, I don't know what color those are. And she kind of looked at him like, you're an electrician. So he's been able to get along and do really, really well. Colorblind electrician.
So what you're saying is someone could probably find a way to play Mario Kart?
Yeah. Yeah. Life finds a way.
The power-ups. We talked about the Boo, which was in the SNES version in battle mode, but is now in the regular racing mode. They also added, I think this is the first Mario Kart that has the most controversial power-up in it, which is the blue shell.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about the blue shell on the show before, but I do also feel like we should bring it up because it's been a while. And the blue shell is one of those things where it's like, you're either pro blue shell or you're anti blue shell. There's really no middle ground.
Yeah. I gotta say I'm anti blue shell. I don't really feel like it serves because I only got the blue shell. I mean, I got it a lot because I was 8th place.
See, that's the thing, right? That's what I don't like about it. Is it's okay. You're more likely to get it if you're last. That's great because you would like to make up some spots. You'd like to get the first, but it doesn't work that way. The blue shell homes in on the player who's first, but it doesn't fucking guarantee that you're going to get up there. All it guarantees is that you're going to fuck that guy over.
Although Nicole and I used it to our advantage because, like, I'm in 8th place. I deploy the blue shell. And it's like, let Diddy Kong pass or Donkey Kong pass you. Okay, so she does and immediately gone.
Yeah. I
Gotcha.
I am pro blue shell.
You pro?
Because I think it makes for a more interesting race.
Yeah. I agree with that. But I guess because honestly, I think a lot of this comes from my first experience with Mario Kart was Super Mario Kart, where I felt like you really earned those races. And I mean, sure, every now and then you get the Thunderbolt, and that fucked everybody. But there's something about the blue shell that just really, really grinds my gears.
It's been a long time since I grinds my gears.
Really grinds my gears. There's another thing that's different in this game that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it became apparent to me almost immediately that in this game it felt like the other racers were always behind me. They were like, when I was in first place, there was always, like, even in 50cc, which is like the easiest mode, Mushroom Cup, which is the easiest cup, I felt like there were always second and third place was just right behind me the entire way. And what I noticed was when I was like in fourth place, first, second, and third drove slower. They were easier for me to pass. But when I was in first place, they were just as fast as me, if not just a little bit faster. So it's like this mechanic in the game. I've heard it called, and Paul actually talks about it. And What's Paul Playing Today? It's a mechanic that's kind of called, I think it like the casual term for it is catch up. And it's designed so that it's easy for you to catch up if you're in last place or if you're in the back, and it's harder for you to maintain position if you're first place or in like the top 4 if you're placing. So my first question is, did you guys notice that? And my second question is, what do you think about that mechanic? Because that's way different than other versions.
I remember like in Mario Kart, the original for SNES, that I could get a huge distance ahead of the second person, and even lap the person in 8th place.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. So I remember like that's why like the minute I fuck up, I'm immediately in 4th place. Immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did notice it. You're right.
And I'm glad you said that you lapped people, because this didn't even cross my mind. I'm not great at Mario Kart 64, but I felt like I was pretty good. I was able to jump in and just win the races that I needed to win. I didn't lap a single racer. Like not once playing this game did I lap a racer. And because of that, I kind of felt like I wasn't playing well, because I'm used, like that's the sign in Super Mario Kart that you're doing well, when you're not only first, but you've lapped at least 3 people.
Yeah. So then man, even whenever like I went off the road into Peach's castle, like I didn't get lapped. I should have.
Yeah.
You finished way before me. It never happened. So
What do you think of the mechanic, Nicole?
I like it because I think that if you get to the point where you are so far ahead of everybody and you are like lapping people, then I don't feel like it's fun anymore.
It's not as exciting.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because then you're just like, well, there's no like reason to, I don't know, try and outmaneuver anybody because you're so far ahead that it's not going to matter.
I get that. I do. And that's why I go back and forth on it, because I do like the excitement, because these races were exciting. There were several moments that I love in Mario Kart that I experienced just from, like even within the first hour I played it. Like I'm doing the stuff that is exciting. Like there's one racer just right in front of me and I have a green turtle shell. And if I could just hit them, I might pass them, because they're so close to the finish line. They might just spin out and cross the finish line. I had so many moments like that were really exciting that only occur occasionally in Super Mario Kart. But it seemed like they were happening like every 3 races in Mario Kart 64. So I loved that. But the other part of me was like, oh man, I feel like I'm working really, really hard to stay in first. And if I make a stupid mistake, or if I get hit by something, or if I go off the road just a little bit, I'm in 4th automatically. And I don't know. I'm a flip-flopper.
It's true. You're the Mitt Romney of Mario Kart 64.
Yep, that's what they called me in high school. The Mitt Romney of Mario Kart 64.
That guy whose dad was like worked for Nixon?
Yeah. Him. Hey, what do you think of the new live video? Lightning crashes. I don't know, man. I'm like way deep into Mitt Romney right now.
You guys will get it in like 10 years.
Yeah, don't worry. Thank you for being generous. You guys will get it in like 15 years.
Nicole, anything to say about Mario Kart 64?
I am a little upset that this is ranked higher than Banjo-Kazooie.
And quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut over here.
I really am. Like, I do think it's a good game, but I think that Banjo-Kazooie should be higher.
I think that this game is ranked a little high. I think Diddy Kong Racing is ranked a little low. And Paper Mario is ranked really, really low. If this Paper Mario changed places, I'd be okay with that. I could roll with that.
I like this game. I haven't played all the games that are ranked better than it, so I can't really say if I think it deserves to be ranked better. But I do have a feeling that we haven't talked about GoldenEye yet, and I will go ahead and say this game is definitely better than GoldenEye. So I wish it was actually ranked a little better.
I was gonna say, what's left There's GoldenEye,
The two Zelda games.
2 Zeldas, Mario 64.
And Smash Brothers. So it's pretty tight lineup.
Yeah.
Pretty tight lineup. Only one of which I'm not familiar with. Well, I've played the first hour of Majora's Mask, so I'm looking forward to actually finishing that and playing it. So
This was a really fun one to me, which is rare on this list that we've been playing, because it's been few and far between where I've been like, yeah, oh man, I could like really get into this and play this for hours, and I did. I played Mario Kart 64 for hours. But I can do that with any Mario Kart is also kind of the thing where I can go through, I'll go through and get first place on all the cups, and then I'll up the CC and then try to get first place on all those and then up it again. That's just what I've done with every Mario Kart. And it's almost like comfort food where it's like, okay, I can do this. This is Mario Kart. I got this.
see, because I want to say like I can't do that. It's that kind of repetition that I don't like and I can't do. And I guess I can't do it in a racing game. But fuck all if I can't spend 6 hours grinding in the dinosaur forest in Final Fantasy VI. So I cannot say I don't like things that are repetitive when I'll fucking grind in an RPG all day long and be totally fine. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's different for me because I don't feel like I mean, it is grinding. It totally is, but it feels less like it because there's a chance to lose. And whenever I'm grinding in an RPG, it's always like, all right, I got this formula. I'm guaranteed to win.
Yeah.
All I got to do is walk around this forest and hit A until the battle's over, and then walk around the forest some more and do it again.
Do you guys have any achievements?
I've got one.
Okay.
I've got one. My first and only achievement is Imperator Furiosa. In order to unlock Imperator Furiosa, you need to get first place as Peach in every race in the game.
Okay.
And then Fury Road unlocks.
Nice. I've got one, and it is some men just want to watch the world burn. And that is you're in 8th place, release the blue shell, finish in 8th place. I unlock that.
I have one. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's if you hit 2 of the upside down question mark.
God, I did that so many times.
That's a new power
God,
up.
I did that so many times.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
That's a new power up.
Because I didn't know what it was until like we were playing, and I guess you dropped it because I was like, "What the fuck? Why did I just die? My last balloon?
Please.
Was it upside down? Maybe."
Explain it to us, Nicole.
Because you go through the question mark blocks to get the power ups, but one of the power ups you can get is an upside down question mark block that if you discreetly drop it near the regular ones, someone might accidentally hit it and then they explode.
It's a bomb.
Yeah.
It's a mine. It's a fucking
Or if you're
mine.
stupid like me and just release it like on the side of the track anywhere,
What's this? You drop it and you're like, I really need an item, and you go right for
Oh
it.
man, yeah. No, I killed myself with my own green shell so many times. Like battling Nicole, like whenever I'm like 1 balloon to her 3, I just get green shells and just start throwing them, just hoping something sticks somewhere.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I had fun today. I had fun talking about this game, playing this game, hearing stories about a tiny lady. But I've got some important questions for you. The first of which being, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
It would be a beard. I don't like the looks of them, but I know they are very important and they serve a good purpose, which are car bras.
Car bras. Those are still around?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
So I would give this a very supportive and sleek car bra on a Toyota Tercel.
Toyota Tercel. All right. Bringing it back. I like it. Tyler, if you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would you give it?
It would be it's a windshield, but the windshield also has a very comical like Inspector Gadget hand that comes out of the engine, and anytime any bloody possums try to fall onto the windshield, the hand grabs the possum and throws it out of the way.
Go, Gadget. Bloody possum arm.
Yeah. If you like that long callback to Sparkster.
I got another question. This is for everybody here except for me. I want to know, how much is this game on Amazon? If you were to buy this right now on Amazon, used, how much do you think it would be?
$14.
$14 from Tyler. Nicole, how much do you think this game is on Amazon used?
$19.
$19. Pretty close. Pretty close between the two of you. Let's take a look here. Actual retail value of Mario Kart 64 used on Amazon at the time of this recording is $34.99.
Wow.
$34.99.
It's way more. That puts it higher than a lot of other games on this list for a used copy.
It does. But it is a Nintendo game.
Okay, those do
The
hold
first
their
party
value a lot
games
better.
tend to hold their value. Do you think that it is worth $35?
I think it's worth the $10 you can buy on the virtual console.
Yeah, I agree. Nicole, what do you think? You think it's worth $35?
No, I mean, only if you were like collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where I kind of feel like if I wanted to play a Mario Kart game, and this is totally working in Nintendo's favor, and I'm sure it's built into their marketing and their business model, but it's like, if I want to play a Mario Kart game, I'm probably going to get the most recent one or the most recent one that I can play on a console that I
Yeah.
own.
Or borrow it from a friend.
It's essentially, or borrow it from a friend. It's essentially the Madden of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, we're going to change some things around, but you when you buy a Mario Kart game, I feel like you know what to expect. I never played Double Dash, by the way. I think that was the Mario Kart game for GameCube.
Yeah, I haven't played that either.
I really wanted to play it, but I think that's the one that I've missed.
Out of all 8?
Yeah,
So Super Mario Kart.
for the Super Nintendo, N64.
There's one for DS.
There's one also for GBA.
Okay.
Circuit. I can't remember what it's called. Yes, DS, 3DS, GameCube. This is fun. This is fun for everybody to listen to, I'm sure.
One for the Wii.
Yeah.
And then one for the Wii U.
The Wii U.
Okay. Yeah. I've missed 5 Mario Karts.
You don't really like Mario Kart, though.
That's true.
So, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I've only missed like 2, 3 Final Fantasies. So it's all right.
You want to know how much this game is new on Amazon?
Yeah.
Do you want to take a guess? Any stabs in the dark?
$450.
$450?
Yep.
It's high. $150.
$210. So, I mean, $150 wins, but technically, as far as I'm concerned, it might as well be $400.
Any last minute comments about Mario Kart? Feelings, emotions,
I like it.
moods?
That's pretty much it. I like it. It's games like this that make me feel good about playing this list. Where it's like I need a game like this every now and then. Where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel that way.
yeah. For once, we can sit on the mics together and I not shit on a childhood game of yours.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud. So don't miss the next episode. I don't know what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it.
Because we're about to hit the Dragon
I
Con
know.
crunch.
And it sucks because we got to do Majora's Mask during Dragon Con. Like, I mean, which I wanted to split into 2 because I actually want to finish that game. I don't know how we're gonna do this. I don't know how we're gonna navigate through these choppy logistical waters.
Get it for 3DS.
I thought about that. I always bring my 3DS to Dragon Con and play it for 2 hours. And when I'm in the car, I'm like, I should play this. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna.
We'll sit side by side and play it together.
Yeah.
And then I'll get Carson.
It's like $40 is the other thing.
Yeah.
And I've got it for the N64. So it's like, all right.
Yeah. Because I've got it on the Wii, and I went ahead and bought it though for the 3DS. Because it's like I don't want to have to sit over there with that wireless controller. I'd rather just be able to walk around.
Okay, and also, I might be wrong. I have a feeling I might be ostracized. I either own Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. I do not know. I bought one of them, and I'm not sure which one it is.
Probably Ocarina of Time. I'd be willing to wager it's Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time. So we don't know what we're going to be doing. We're
Something.
We're not going to how we're going to figure this out.
Go easy on us, because I am going to propose that we do something super, super relaxed and easy for maybe the next 2 Mondays.
Yep.
Like
I mean,
even more relaxed than Global Gladiators somehow.
like an all-calls show.
Like 2 all-call show, just bam,
Like
bam.
the one where we just catch all calls for Dragon Con Part 1, all calls for Dragon Con Part 2.
Can we get more snacks and just eat snacks and talk about like how excited we are about Dragon Con?
We'll periscope a walk through Walmart where we just like open bags in Walmart, try snacks, then try to hide the bags.
Man, I barely know what Periscope is. I'm old as shit.
If I would have thought about it, she would have said no. But if I could, while I was reading the Blowfly Girl story, periscope Nicole's facial reactions as I read, so everybody could have watched it in real time, her be grossed out. Yeah, about that face. About that one right there. About the face that you think about me doing that, similar to the face you made while I was reading the story.
I think that the faces I made when you were reading the story were a lot worse. Yeah.
Confession. I didn't want to look at you during the story.
Look
I
at
felt,
me?
Yeah, I felt like really like, don't look at Nicole while Tyler's reading this. Because I didn't like,
That's weird.
She
you think it's weird? I didn't want to like, I didn't want to look at another human while Tyler told that story.
That's fair.
Like, I could look at Tyler because it was like, I've heard Tyler say some pretty gross shit before.
You know what we still love? 5-star iTunes reviews.
We do.
They help us out oh so much.
We got one
we got
recently.
another one.
We do. We got one from Retro Digital LA or La. It's lowercase, so it might be Retro Digital
Yeah.
La. They requested we play Haunting, starring Poltergeist. Game I hadn't heard of.
I remember seeing this at Movie Hut.
I think that what's it for?
Genesis.
We have it.
Really? Wow.
All right, we've got Josh and Nicole in for an episode.
Will you guys come on?
Yeah, sure. I'll speak out for him.
Commit for him.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We need somebody to.
All you have to do is say, "Hey, we're going over to Tyler and Dave's to do the show." Okay.
No, we've been decluttering, and that's the only Sega game we kept. So
That is interesting as fuck to me.
That's fate. That's fate.
I like to think Josh was like, "What is this?" And then you just kept it because
And then
you weren't sure
he
what it was.
got a new credit card, made a new 5-star review.
Have you guys played it, or like, was it yours or was it
it
his?
was his, and he has played it, and he thinks that I will like it. But
Oh, right. Okay. Good.
It's got ghosts in it. You'd love ghosts.
pretty much,
Well, Retro Digital LA wanted us to play that or Psychic Detective. I think we've already decided that we're gonna play.
I don't know. Psychic
Haunting.
Detective sounds like a pretty interesting title.
Well, we can't do both. We can't spoil them.
Oh, we can do both, but just within like a year of each other.
3 years.
We'll space them out like we do Lord Matt Barger's games. So whatever, we try to incentivize you,
Obviously.
like this fellow did.
Right.
Leave whatever game you want us to play, or a guest host you want for a set episode, and we promise whatever you include in that, we will get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about hopefully something like super easy that I don't have to put any kind of like thought or effort into. I just want to let me coast, guys. Can I just coast for like just until Dragon Con? Just let me coast until Dragon Con. But we'll be back, is my point. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. If you have anything at all to say Mario Kart 64, say it on Facebook or forever hold your peace. Tyler will normally make an episode post, and that's where you can just say things and people will read them.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
we call it internet.
Guaranteed people will read it. Unlike the Iliop D&D class, which was read for the very first time on this show.
I hope Adam is the one that made that. I just wanted to call attention to it.
You can find us on Twitter. We are at tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everybody who is retweeting us. Feels good. Feels good to be retweeted. Feels really good. You can call us if you want. If you want to be on our next 2 episodes, call 270-883-2555 numbers. Try that again. Everyone got that, right? Everyone got that. Pork chop sandwiches.
If you could be if you want to be, if you could, if you think you might, if you would be, if you could be anything.
270-883-2555. You can text also, but I couldn't even read our number. How do you think I'm going to read your text? Not going to be able to. Finally, we do have a Patreon, which is a place where you can give us money if you want to. We have some very generous listeners who do that currently. We actually got a pledge from Paul Anderson recently, who I wanted to thank. So thank you very much. If you want to be cool like Paul, you can be, and go to patreon.com/tadpog. Throw in a couple bucks if you want, and that helps us pay for things that we need to make the show better.
And we discussed, I know Nicole, we discussed last episode what we might do for Patreon people. We talked about the possibility of doing audio commentary for video game movies and releasing those as Patreon specials. So I said you had to do all those.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we volunteered you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
You like movies, right?
I like movies a lot.
You like wasting like 4 hours with us, right?
because you'll have to watch it once and know what's
Yeah.
going on, and then watch it again with subtitles while we
Right.
talk over it.
No, I think that sounds like a good idea.
All right, good deal.
I'm excited.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We have a theme song.
Yes, you do.
Do you know what it is?
I do.
What is it?
It's Moves.
Who's it by?
Sycamore Drive.
Where can a link to that track be found?
In the show notes.
Where are the show notes?
TADPOG.com.
How do you want to close this out?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it.
What'd you think about it?
That's what I'm doing.
We'll wait. It's tough.
know.
This is a tough part.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Usually I'd revert back to something from our intro stuff, but I don't.
You want to do it as Blowfly Girl?
We can read it like we're shoving things into our pajamas.
That's, for the record,
Like
not
we're
going to be very difficult for me.
Like we're masturbating into dumpsters.
I think that even though you tell people to skip that story with your little tidbits throughout the episode,
By the way, if you skipped that story and got here, sorry.
like you totally know exactly what happened.
We gave you the Cliff Notes. That's just like base awful.
If you skip the story at the beginning, then I think that you made a good judgment call.
Maybe not the most fun decision.
If you decided to listen to it, you're down a few sanity points, but you're stronger in the long run when Great Cthulhu comes.
I guess we could do it as our favorite racers from Mario Kart.
Okay.
Okay. So until next time. Tropical Capricorn. I don't even know how Bowser sounds. I just assume it's growly.
He sounds a lot like Colby. And that's a new segment I like to call Bitchin' About the Local School Board.
It's going to be a reoccurring segment. Right
Every
between
week.
achievements and beards and glasses.
Actually, it's going to be in between beards and glasses.